What's up, guys? It's the Wolf, your main man in black. Now, this particular video, I guess before we get there, don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe. Thank you in advance. All right. So, a lot of people, including police officers, some sheriffs, and various other agencies and agents, have contacted me. Nothing new there. I've helped many of them change their status and understand the information because, well, much like the topic of this video, why don't they talk about this? Why don't they talk about the private sector? So that's what this video is going to be about. All right. So we're going to be casual, if you will. I don't really have any. You know what? I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to have a casual conversation here. Let's get a little illumination on the matter. Sit back and relax. All right. So one of the things a lot of you guys don't know, this is it's a true story, is that well, I didn't always really believe in this information, and I really didn't set out to be this person. Really didn't. I like to be private. I only got here because my scoutmaster, God rest his soul, Leonard C. Brody, before he passed away, he told me about this information because he was in the military. Told me about the differences in the flags and jurisdictions and all this other stuff. And I originally set out to debunk people like me. Yes, at one point in time, I could have been considered a anti-private person because I didn't know what it was, and anything that didn't sound like it was supporting America sounded like you were against it. What I didn't understand is that there is America, United States thereof, and then there was the United States Corporation. There are federal employees, state employees, private sector citizens, private sector nationals, private corporations, public corporations. So I found myself getting to the point and getting asked a lot, why don't they talk about it? Well, here's why they don't talk about it. First, clear your mind, if you will, and understand that since the beginning of the founding of this country, the forefathers were all state citizens. There was no federal government. There was no American government. They were just a band of people who created their states, and you were loyal to the state, period. They came over here so desperate to get away from the powers that be, they pushed other people off their land. Lied, cheated, stole, you name it. They created the states and they were loyal to them, and so they were known as state citizens. Really weren't nationals at the time because, well, the whole land wasn't occupied, so there was no real nationals, but they were all state citizens. Now, fast forward. We started forming or allow the federal government to come into play and these other foreign jurisdictions to operate here as if they were one of us, but they're not. So there are different jurisdictions. Washington, D.C. is not owned by the American people. It is privately owned. And we all know by now the three major players who own it. And they essentially are running a business. This is commerce. So for them, it's kind of like KFC's secret herbs and spices. They don't want everybody knowing every single thing. Okay. And nobody knows it all. All this information is compartmentalized. So why don't they talk about it? Okay. Once again, you have your state citizen, which is what we all are born as or naturalized into. All of those state citizens together are nationals of the United States of America. That's the private sector. And so you are a private sector national. Okay. When you go out and you communicate, interact, have an event with a public officer, a public official, they are public trustees because the United States is in a trust. It is a trust. So they are the public. They convert us into being the public when we accept the all capitalized straw man name, nom de gore, which is Latin for war name, public transmitting utility. It's a company. It's a business trust that the state owns because they created it in your name. So you have some rights as a legal juridical person when utilizing it. But you are a natural private person in the real world. They deal in debt. We deal in equity. They are de facto. We are de jure. When you talk to these public officers and servants, these are your friends, your neighbors, your family members from down the block, across the street, whatever. They are, and no offense, but they are considered by the upper to be low-level functionaries. They do not and are not taught any of this information. This has been corroborated, which I already know, but reconfirmed by police officers, state officials, senators, people in various other governmental agencies who've contacted me and said, yeah, you're right. They have researched the information that I've presented. It's not my information. It's already out there. Hell, I'm not the first and I'm not the last. But for some reason, people like to watch and learn from me. So that's cool. I appreciate you. Like a Care Bear. All right. So the low-level functionaries, your average person behind the counter, in military, it's called compartmentalization, or you only give up information on a need-to-know basis. Got friends and family in the military as well. I was actually supposed to go into the military, into intelligence, but I opted out. Now, the people above the average ones you meet at the counter, let's go back to them though. Let's back up. You're ready? So the average person behind the counter, they're just doing a job. They want their paycheck. They want to go home. They want to relax. They want to see their family. They want to have a good weekend. That's it. And most of them typically enjoy their job, but if they had their choice, they might want to do something else and definitely be paid more. So some of this goes out to you guys out there as well. You guys have to understand that you're not being told all the information. You don't know all the files. You don't know how to use all of the files. And you definitely don't know all the stuff that the manager does, because they compartmentalize it because they want you to specialize in just dealing with the public. Now, I happen to know this. They tell you guys, everybody who comes up to the counter are the public. Anything weird or whatever else, go and get the manager. But in general, everybody's the public. And I happen to know for a fact that most places consider the public to be stupid and to be unlearned. And that's why you guys are there as public officials in the trust to help execute the needs of the public people. But there are different types of people with different jurisdictions. Some are citizens, which are the public. Some can be private citizens. Some people are just, VIP, dignitaries, and whatever else. So they don't want you guys to know, and they don't want us to know how to do commerce properly, because if we knew all of it, well, let's just be honest, people would take advantage of all the things that are there. And the system is not prepared nor set up to handle that kind of abuse and use. It's just not. So let's move up the ladder. Now, your managers have about 75% more knowledge and understanding, hence why they are given that position. They can be trusted. And that's why when somebody like me comes into the post office or whatever else, I usually tend to work with the person behind the counter. If they don't know, I politely ask for the manager. Manager comes out and says, hey, I'd like to talk to you. I'm a private person. I want to talk to you in your private capacity or privately. They'll say, okay, now we can talk about some stuff because he knows some stuff, or she, and I know some stuff. But the average person out there doesn't have, in general, a need or a knowing to have a need of certain things that we do in the private. But the general person out there gets general treatment. Private and special people get private and special treatment. They don't want everybody to have that. And I can understand why. A lot of people, once again, would abuse or use it inappropriately, but not everybody. Most people are actually good, or else mostly well-behaved. Ish. So now above the managers, you're going to have your directors, your vice presidents, your CEO, CFO, COO, and whatnot, or your board members. You're the board. There's almost always a board. These people know it all. Not everything, but they know all the good stuff, okay? You're almost never going to get to talk to them, and they're almost never going to reply back to you because they're doing important stuff like golfing and spending money and taking trips places. They're the ones who issue down to the directors and on good principle, the managers, private information, that there are private, the private sector is a real thing. Most people you're going to deal with are just general public, general populace, general population, okay? John Q. Public. So unless you're talking to somebody who's a manager above or a very well rounded, knowledgeable, been there a long time, trustee, public officer, public worker, they're not going to know. So when some of you guys are going in there demanding these processes, mine and this and that with other people, you got to understand, they don't know what you're talking about. You seem crazy. So if that's the case, you need to escalate it to somebody above them. Be nice, be kind, be respectful. Because what you're doing is you're providing the person behind the counter with upper level knowledge, hearing it from you and then being corroborated by the manager. Oh yeah, we've got that file. We can do that. Oh. So one of the reasons why we send out the affidavits and we show these things to these people behind the counter, sending it in with the passport, sending it to your state people, your heads of the court, you know, your attorney general, whatever, whoever, is to spark their interest and understanding and start having them ask questions, teaching them what's really going on. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the United States corporation in the system. I mean, there's problems in the system, but it's business and commerce. So all we're doing here is trying to help you understand how to do commerce better and properly. And then everybody wins. So that's the reason why they don't talk about it, is because they don't want everybody moving like VIP. When you go to the club or the whatever show, you'll notice that it's not set up that the whole entire place is VIP area. You've got to have some general area for the people who are uninitiated, unlearned, not in the know, non-VIP, non-special. Some people out there want regular treatment. They don't care about none of the rest of this stuff. Look, I'm just here to do this. Okay. That's your John Q. Public. And until you step up and say something and move like VIP, talk like VIP, act like it, you won't get it because they think you're John Q. Public. So it's not that they're hiding it. It's not that they're playing stupid. They don't know because it's compartmentalized to the people who should know. And on those rare occasions, somebody special or VIP comes in, then they act accordingly. So welcome to seeing past the third veil, okay, or the third wall. If you don't know what that is, look it up. All right, guys, that's it. So now you have some greater clarity to understanding what's going on is that if you want to be in the know, you be in the know. People are like, well, Wolf, tell it all. Well, we're getting to a lot of stuff and I don't know it all, but I'm good at the places I talk about. One of the reasons why you can't tell everything, because not everybody should be VIP. Not everybody needs to know all the things behind the doors and the hidden goodies. Why? Because once again, there's some people out there who unfortunately have malicious intent. And so if they want it, let them find it. If you want it, you got to go get it. You got to find it too. So you also have to keep in mind that even right now, you guys are watching this video. Well, this is interfacing with the public. And though you can do that, you always want to make sure that you put everything out there under the understanding this is entertainment and education purposes only. Because telling things that are private, truly private, should not be done in the public. It should be done privately. Which is why we talk about some additional things in the VIP section for Black Site 32, YouTube, my main channel. You can join the Wolf Pack and see those videos. You can join the Telegram groups and listen and learn and share with other people as well. So now you understand, at least I hope you do, is that you can't just go telling, like you guys right now, you don't tell everybody your business, right? All right. Because that would be bad for you and bad for your business. If everybody knew your secrets, they'd be like, oh, this guy overcharges. Oh, this guy doesn't have good stuff. Everybody must have secrets, which reminds me. Here's some relationship advice. There should be some stuff that you keep to yourself. Now, if it endangers somebody's health or life or whatever, share it. But there's some things you should just keep to yourself. Past relationships, certain things, leave it there. Work on your own. Don't bring things from the past to the future with your new relationship, because then you're dragging whatever that negative energy was or scenarios, and now you or your partner or both have these things from each other's past. Now, if you know, you want to let the person know whether you know it was what you like, then tell them this is what I like. Not, well, my ex used to do this for me and this is what I want you to do because I like that. No, just tell them this is what I like to do. Don't compare your ex or your future or whatever else with the next person. Don't do that. All right, so I digress. Now you understand that there are public things and there are private things, and they should never mix. Okay, public and private should never mix. So now you understand why they don't talk about it, because either they don't know or they can't, or you're not asking the right person. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I know it wasn't had a whole lot of deep things per se, but you need to have a good understanding of how things are moving so that you guys don't get frustrated, because I keep getting these emails from people. Oh, they said they didn't know what I was talking about, and they said they never had that form or file, or they said I can't do this. I don't understand. That now you know why. So that's it, guys. Take care. Have a great night. Talk to you later. Wolf's out.